right, you want to know the secret to buying a Lamborghini? Drop out of college. I'm just kidding. But actually in this video, we're going to talk about whether or not you should drop out of college and if college is the path to your dream life, which to me, which is bright. You need to see your shades? Chris needs his shades.
I need my new shades.
I mean, like, cause to me, like, that's my mental frame. Is like, you want to live life of your dreams. It's not about like, you know, getting a comfortable paycheck or, you know, making a half decent salary. It's like, no, fuck that. You want the life of your dreams. And so kind of like, I don't know. See, for me, it was never really about like, you know, just making enough money to survive. Yeah. It was like, I want to do whatever I love doing. And so naturally it was like, well, college isn't the path for me for that. Yeah. But like maybe someone else's dream is to become like a successful investment banker or lawyer or doctor. But for me, it was like to become a huge authority on fitness, which even doing something like a kinesiology degree, I learn far better outside. But right now I'm kind of rambling and kind of skipping a ton of points. But what's up, Chris?
What's up?
So Chris.
Yeah, so I don't know. I think the college thing is an interesting issue because I think in like a decade it's going to be a different ball game with all the online universities now, and then the lack of real value for a lot of degrees. There are tons of degrees. Most of the degrees that you can go to college and get aren't going to ensure you any kind of job or any kind of skill set or anything like that is actually valuable, which skills are what are valuable. A skill is going to be something you could transfer into, you know, leverage to make money, essentially, or provide value for someone in exchange for money. But a lot of degrees don't arm you with any kind of skills. However, there are some, like you mentioned, Greg, that are very skill oriented, and it's actually quite easy to get a job out of college with your degree.
What are examples of that?
You know, like an engineer, a doctor after you get a medical degree, dentist, pharmacist, I guess architect. I don't know much about art. I'm just pulling that one out of my ass. I don't know anything about that.
You know, but that's the fair point. We'll always need doctors and engineers and
something that that society's always going to need.
Lawyers.
Yeah, lawyers.
Yeah.
But then there are tons of other things that aren't going to necessarily, like, you could go and get that degree and actually do quite well. However, a lot of people they don't hustle hard enough to equip themselves to like go out. Say, I mean, you could go get an art degree, and if you hustle hard enough, if you really want to be like a world-class artist, you can be. But a lot of people just don't have that drive, and they just expect, they feel entitled. Like, oh, I just pay all this money for a degree, so I'm entitled to a job to, you know, pay back my debt. But, you know, the reality is you're not entitled to anything. You have to go.
Yeah, that's like the worst mentality to have. It's like, oh, I got my degree, therefore jobs just be thrown at me, which is kind of really, it's not the case at all, because like everyone has friends that, you know, graduate from university that have degrees and they're looking for work, or they're working the same job they had before college or during college.
Yeah,
it's very common.
Oh yeah, you see that. Like, people go back, like, work back at the mall.
I know.
Well, you didn't have to go spend 200 grand on college to do that.
I know. It's
the thing is like, also I went to college and I got a good degree, and from a good school. Yeah. So there's definitely still value in it. But from my mind, the value is also connections and a network. And, you know, for example, like any Ivy League or good private school or good public school, you're going to get a lot of good connections.
Yeah, let me just jump on the right side. We did a shoulder workout, so my arms are getting, you know, very heavy lifting a, you know, 4-ounce camera. It's deceivingly heavy after a while. But yeah, like, it's true. In college, you make all kinds of great connections if you take advantage of that.
Yeah, you gotta have your mind in the right spot.
Yeah.
If you do, you can make all sorts of awesome connections. Because there are a lot of successful people in every college network. That you can get as a mentor. They can, you know, help open doors for you and somewhere you want to go. You know, if you want to go and invest in real estate, it's actually like, that's something that there are a lot of valuable things like that where you have to have a good mentor, and a college network.
Mentors.
Can be a
Find a mentor. Wow. No, but that's a really good point. You know, definitely, you know, find your mentors. Just to kind of share, like, my own personal experience was that I did go to university for 1 year, and for me, I think you're different than me though, Chris. For me, I just like, I didn't really buy into the learning experience, so I didn't really apply myself. I didn't really like, you know, and I was like, wait, why am I wasting money and time, like half-assing in school? It's crazy. It's like, you know, I was sitting there in lecture halls, people were on like Farmville, this is like back in 2010.
Yeah.
It's like people don't take it that seriously, from my perspective of like, you know, I mean, some people obviously do, but for me it's like, I'm not really, how is this gonna lead me to become successful, like half-assing in school?
Yeah.
I have to be out there like doing stuff, learning in that sort of mentality to really succeed. Like, so I mean, I never really flourished in school. Just didn't really.
That comes down to the whole know thyself thing too.
Yeah.
A lot of people, you know, it's awesome. It's like really rare too that you would know that at a young age. And like, this is not really my thing. I'm gonna be successful elsewhere. I don't need this. That's a mature decision. I'm sure your family freaked out about it.
A ton of flack.
It's still like.
But now all my friends want me to hire them, so.
Yeah.
All my family, hire me.
But yeah, there's not really a right or wrong answer in general there for college or no. But it just comes down to like, how well do you know yourself? If you were to drop out of college right now, say there's probably people in college right now watching this. If you were to drop out, would you still succeed? Or do you need the extra time in exchange for whatever debt you're gonna accumulate or whatever? Do you need that extra time to figure out, you know, what to do?
Right.
Because a lot of people, when you're that young, you don't know what to do. Like for me, for example, I was gonna be a surgeon, and that's what I thought I was gonna do. And then somewhere along the line, while I was in college, I changed my mind, and at least I had the safety there.
Here, let's sit on this bench for a second.
I wasn't like fighting for my.
Actually, I'll go on the left side. Yeah. No, yeah, that's.
But there are always like value trade-offs. You got to decide certain things. But it comes down to knowing yourself. And like, are you going to succeed without it, or do you need the extra time? I know a lot of guys who went back, and girls who like go back to business school, or they'll go back, get another degree or whatever. Spend a lot of money on it, but sometimes they just don't know what they're going to do, and they're going to use that period of time to leverage some connections, like make some new connections, build their network that it's going to pay off down the road. Like you might spend $100,000 on grad school, going to some debt there, but then if you know in your heart that you're going to make this work, and you're going to like, oh, I'm going to leverage this into some cool real estate deals, good business deals, I'm going to make millions of dollars later, then maybe it's worth it if you don't have the connections right now. So
yeah,
it's not my 2 cents.
Yeah, and some people some people might be watching this video like, yeah, I can drop out of school. What's school gonna give me? And then they drop out and they don't do shit, you know? Because I was always very self-motivated and driven and progress-oriented, and I'd set goals and I'd work on timelines and I'd get stuff done, and I'd be like so excited about making that little bit of progress every week in fitness and in business. And so some people aren't like that, and so some people, they're not self-motivated, so if they drop out of school, all goes to shit. And then you know, you're better off, you know what, following the social narrative, getting the degree, you know, being in the classroom, getting experiences, finding some career path that's for you. Because if you're not self-motivated and driven, and if you're not going to hustle, then dropping out of school is not going to be the best decision.
No, I mean, yeah, it could mess up a lot of things.
Yeah, and it like as much as I'd love to tell you, like, everyone, like, drop out of school, man, you can live the life of your dreams, you can start this amazing business, you can be doing what you love, be making millions of dollars. As much as I'd love to give that advice to everyone, probably it's a small percentage of people that actually that would apply to.
Yeah.
Like,
but they know who they are.
They know, yeah.
Like, that's the thing, is like, we both knew that we were going to do it. It's like a psychological thing. Just decide you're going to do it, and then do whatever you can to figure it out. But it's not easy. It's not. Especially if you're going to be an entrepreneur. It's a hard road, so you gotta commit to it.
Yeah, in the first few years, you're probably not gonna be making that much money. Probably less than if you were to just get hired at a job. The first few years, you're probably not gonna make much money.
Yeah, that $30K a year will sound kind of appealing to you.
Yeah.
And working at Geico.
Yeah. But then it becomes exponential, and it's all of a sudden, it's like, you know, you put in those 5 years, and now you're freaking killing it. So what's gonna happen is, if you decide you're going to drop out of school, even if maybe you already went to school, but now you decide you're not going to work this job that you have, you're going to start your business, what's going to happen is you're going to get a ton of outside flack. Everyone's going to say, dude, like, just work the job. Everyone thinks they can start a business. It's not going to become successful. Everyone's going to say, you know, go back to school. You're out of your mind if you think you can build some business. Everyone's going to tell you that. Like, everyone will. And speaking about earlier, like, are you the person that's actually going to hustle and succeed? If that stuff derails you, then it's good that it derailed you, because you're going to fuck up anyway. If outside pressure is going to convince you not to start your business or do, like, to follow your dreams, you weren't going to do it anyway. Let's be honest, you weren't.
Yeah.
If some external force is like, hey, you shouldn't do that, if that's going to change, like, your decision, there's no strength there, there's no solidity there. So what's going to happen when one little thing goes wrong? So, yeah, I mean, I had, like,
everything would fall apart.
everything would fall apart, like a house of cards or whatever. Like, I had everyone telling me, Greg, go back to school, this thing isn't going to work out. And I was like, just see. And then even when you get amazing progress, people will still say, like, you know what, it's temporary, it's not going to last, and you just kind of got to push through until all of a sudden, like, what the fuck? And then they're like, I always knew you were going to succeed, man. I knew you had it in you. You're like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. You fucking didn't. I remember. But then it's fun, because then at the end of the day, it's like all those people that said you couldn't do it. It's fun, like, it's just fun to, like, kind of.
It's fun to just do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more like internal. You know you can do it, so then you just show yourself you can do it. And that's just icing on the cake if other people doubted you.
Yeah. But it was this fun moment where, for me, it's like one of my mom's close friends and kind of business partners, he sat me down a few years ago. He says, Gregory, like, you need to go back to school. Like, you know, everyone thinks they can go and create a successful business, and like, you know, it's such a risk. It's like, it's really not going to happen. Like, you need to go back to school, and you're making a colossal mistake if you don't. And then, like, that was maybe the year after I dropped out of school, and then a few years later, he was like, holy fuck, Gregory, I was wrong, whatever. I'm like, well, I mean, and I never was, like, in retrospect, like, now, I'm not mad at all for him telling me that. I'm like, of course you're going to tell me that. Of course, you know? Because if no one's going to see it, no one's going to believe in you except for you, you know? Now I'm getting all, like, you know, woo-woo motivational. We missed the point.
Tony Robbins.
Chris isn't into the motivational stuff. No, but
you either have it or you don't.
You have it or you don't. Yeah. You have it or you don't. And
that's my motivational words of wisdom.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, to wrap up, like, the college things, you know it or you don't. Maybe, like, there's no right or wrong answer. It's just you're either gonna succeed with it or without it, or you're not gonna succeed with it or without it. It's just kind of like there are just different types of people.
Right.
And you could be who you want to be.
Right. And at the end of the day, man, if you're in school, you should be in school because you want to be in school. If you're creating your business, you should be doing that because you want to. And don't, like, create a business you think it's going to make you a lot of money. Do something you actually fucking love, because then that will come.
Yeah, there's a difference. You can make, like, an average salary style thing, but if you have a freedom lifestyle business that you get to live on the beach or something and enjoy it, or live wherever you want, and you know, you can have a cool apartment, pay your taxes, have some spending money. Maybe that's your goal. Like, you don't have to have a multi-million-dollar business, but
and you can have both. You can, you know, because you can end up doing something you absolutely love, and then all of a sudden millions of dollars start rolling in, and that's cool. But you realize that, like, you know what? You'd rather take the lifestyle and doing what you love over the millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Then, like, you know. So I don't know. Like, maybe any closing thoughts is, you know.
I guess maybe there's people that want to know how to, if they want to, like, get some business advice or whatever. 4kblogging.com.
It's 4 letter K, right?
Yeah. 4kblogging.com.
That's funny, because our apartment was 4K.
I know.
Yeah.
That was our first apartment in LA. It was 4K. Was the
4K. Yeah.
But I just made that course like a couple years ago, just to teach people how to build blogs and turn into a business, like we've done. And
I'm like, yeah.
There've been quite a few people gone through it already in the last 2 years or so, and they're killing it. Some people are doing really well. Mm-hmm. Like, one guy made $400 in the first 2 days.
Shit.
That was good.
Yeah.
Some consulting.
Now, we're not saying it's going to happen overnight, but it will happen faster than you think.
Yeah.
No, when is Ty Lopez again?
Yeah, I can never tell when you're doing a quote. Well, I can tell about Ty Lopez, but Greg's the master of weaving movie quotes
into conversation. Yeah. Yeah.
And then he's like, "Wait, you didn't get that? That was in whatever.
That was in, yeah. I do that.
Some obscure
Some obscure
movie.
some obscure movie. He's like, what? You never saw Take Me Home Tonight? Oh my God. Wow. Where have you been? Yes. So, damn. I mean, I guess what we were talking about just a few minutes ago was like, man, like, you definitely don't want to be running up some job that you're not going to be fulfilled in. So if you're just kind of following some path, you're like, oh yeah, if I do this, I can make 6 figures. That's sweet. Well, do you actually like being a doctor? Do you actually like being an investment banker? And perhaps you do. But if you don't follow something because you think you're going to make a lot of money doing it if you're not going to absolutely love doing it.
Unless you can leverage that money that you make and put it into some investments or something.
Yeah.
That can give you freedom later.
Freedom later.
You just bite the bullet for a while.
Right.
But yeah, no, I agree with you.
I mean, like Neil Strauss, I think he's like an author, editor. He had a really good quote. It's like, what would you do every day if you weren't getting paid? Right? It's a good thing to think about. Would you, like for me, that's like fucking filming videos, writing, doing podcasts, creating courses, creating workouts for people, doing videos like this. That's what I would do every day. I'd do this if I wasn't getting paid. Technically, I'm not getting paid. technically. But building my audience, gets more people to join my courses. Yeah, so you can check out 4kblogging.com. It's Chris's stuff, very cool stuff. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and comment below and let me know if you have any other videos on this realm that you would like us to answer. So there's no clear-cut drop out of college or go to school, but hopefully this video gives you some clarity and helps stop you from doing stuff that you don't want to do to please other people.
Yeah.
Or maybe it stops you from creating a business which ultimately you would have failed because you ultimately don't have the hustle and the drive and the determination and the progress-oriented mindset. So
yeah. And if we're talking about business, real quick, closing thought, there's never been an easier time than right now to start a business and to get traffic into some kind of sales funnel that you want to do and you can enjoy, like filming videos on YouTube or have a big Instagram, whatever. There's never been an easier time to start a business than right now. It's so damn cheap. Because businesses cost money to set up. Look at, if you want to start a restaurant, you're going to have to drop at least 6 figures on building the whole restaurant out and have overhead and employees and all that stuff. But if you want to start a blog or something, YouTube channel and monetize it and work toward that, and that's your lifestyle freedom business, that's the thing you want to be doing for the rest of, maybe the rest of your life. Maybe, I don't know what's going to change in 10 years about all this stuff, but you can at least do it for the next 10 years or so.
Yeah.
It's super simple.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, yeah, no, it's beautiful. Yeah, the businesses that kind of we have, it's amazing. Because you can step away from things for a bit and there's no catastrophe.
Yeah.
With a physical, like, business, you don't have the same luxury. It's like you want to get away for a week and it's like, oh, well, then you got all these logistical things. It's like, I want to go away for a week. Oh, I pull up my camera, I create more content. But yeah, so, I don't know. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you.
All right, later.
Drop out of... I'm just kidding. Bye.